So my first step is a primer. I use a pore filling primer from Dr. Brandt. It's called Pore Refiner Primer. I believe it's called like Pores No More or something of that sort. I say that this is like a good thing for feminizing your face, and the reason I say that is because typically men have more textured skin. So especially if you aren't on hormones, I think this is gonna be like a super big step for you, just to really ensure just so all your pores are very smooth. So I go in with my foundation. You can honestly pick whatever foundation you want, any shade really, any color, any shade, color, same thing. Any like formula that you want. I think that that's something that doesn't really necessarily matter. Once your foundation is all on, you can then go in with concealer. I always say that I kind of like to go in with like a lighter layer of foundation and then really just conceal the areas that need to be concealed. I do think that primarily women wear like lighter coverage makeup. I know as I'm putting on so much concealer. Primarily wear like a lighter coverage look. So I mean, you definitely can go in and do a full coverage look, which is kind of like a little bit, I guess, what I'm doing today because I just put on so much concealer. But I like to do it this way and be heavier with the concealer and only do like a pump of foundation, just so that overall whole face isn't overly full coverage. It's just the areas that have concealer on it. Okay, so one of the biggest tricks of the trade for me personally, and something I think is really, really big on feminization of your face, is a nose contour. So I just blended out all of my concealer, all in those areas, and then I'm gonna go in just with some powder, and I just powder my nose, just right here. I think like feminine tiny nose is like super important, really, truly, honestly. I think contouring in general is important. This is just the first step that I do for contouring. You can go in with the bronzer of your choice. I just like Hoola bronzer. It's my favorite. If you guys haven't ever seen any of my other videos, you will know that Hoola is my favorite. So then I go in with a super tiny brush like this. Please ignore my spray tan. I don't want to talk about it. Dip it into the bronzer. I kind of tap off the excess. So I go in and I just do like this. All through here, I try to focus on the very, like, kind of the top of my nose, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna do this into the mirror or into my camera. So I go in like this, right on the top of the nose, all the way up to the top of right here in between your eyes. You go in like that. Kind of dip into a little bit more just to really solidify this side of your nose. Well, this side of my nose is a little bit weaker. So I go in and I do that. Then your nose looks like this, and then you're like, wow, those lines look a little bit intense. So then I take a brush, mine just looks like this, and I just kind of buff those lines out like so. Then I take the same sponge that I was using to blend out my concealer, and I go in and I just kind of push any excess concealer right onto the sides of my nose, just to kind of blend it back in case any bronzer got there. Perfect. And then I take a dry sponge. This one's just like literally all I use is for powder. I go in with my translucent powder. You literally can't even see it. It's so white. I go in with this, and I just take powder and I just put powder right here on my nose. I used to take it and I'd put it on my nostrils, but I've since learned that that actually makes it look a little bit more like artificial. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just think your nose contour just like looks better. You do it this way. I think if it's on the nostrils and then you have like white nostrils, it's like are you good? Like, why is it light right there? Because you're not really trying to like make your nostril area thinner. You're just trying to make the nose, or like the bridge of your nose, more petite. So then I go in and then I take it and I just put it right on the tip like that. And I go in right on the tip of my nose, like right there. And then I just take a little bit and I put it through right there. And then I take excess powder and I just bake all under here so that it really, really pushes that powder in there. It lightens this area. I think it brightens it. And I think it just gives you like much more of like an awake look. Also, when you take the powder and you bring it out to like your hairline, like literally, like you bring it out so far, it gives the illusion of like a lifted, snatched face, which I think feminizes the face a lot by like elongating this area, because primarily women have a wider face right here due to like cheeks and like cheekbones and everything, and it's just like a lot more plump through that area of the face. And I go through and I do that so that it looks just like this. And then if I did get some of my nostrils, I don't know, I'm like so weird about this now. I like hate when it's on my nostrils. I just blend it out like that. Perfect. So now that your face looks like this, you're just gonna go in and you're gonna bronze your forehead and then bronze the other areas of your face. I just go in with a big fluffy brush because this does not have to be precise. And I just go in and I just bronze. Like, it's not anything that crazy, but what this is doing is it's giving the illusion of a smaller forehead, which primarily women do have smaller foreheads. So I just really kind of go in and really do this. Perfect. And then I go in with the same thing. I just kind of use like the corner of it. And I just go in like this. I've learned to not connect this and this. Bake kind of come through, because then what that does is it does give you more of an illusion of a plumper, wider area right here, which is really important, which is why a lot of people get cheek fillers, which is why I got cheek fillers. They're just kind of like gone, I feel like almost. It's been like a year maybe since I've gotten cheek fillers, so I really have to do that again. But if you can't do fillers, you can do this trick, and this really helps elongate it. I really like this brush. This brush specifically, I just literally like plop it on and I'm like, okay, we're done. Like, I think that like looks pretty good. This brush I use every single day. This is the Morphe X Jacqueline JH02 brush. 10 out of 10 recommend. I've been using this brush for literally over a year and I'm obsessed with it. And I go through and I just take this IT Cosmetics foundation brush and I literally just buff out my bronzer. So good. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna contour. So what I use for contour is I just use this brush. This one is the JH06 brush. I go in with a different Benefit palette. This one's like really ratchet. I just go in with Hoola Caramel. I love it, and I just take it and I just put it through here. Just the very back of my cheeks. Just because what this does is it just carves out that particular area. And it really just adds more definition through here, but then leaving that more like buffed out, lighter bronze look through the rest of your face. So then I put that on, back in with the IT Cosmetics foundation brush, and I just buff that out. So just keep buffing, blend, blend, blend. Then I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more powder. Like that, and then I do not let this sit on at all. I actually just put it on, and then I just do a quick little buff it out, because I think it's just really weird to have a super light area down there. But I like to put it on just to kind of give it a little bit more of like a crisp look. Now we're gonna do eyebrows. I use 3 products for my eyebrows. I use the 24-hour brow setter. Then I go in and I use the Goof Proof brow pencil for Benefit. And I use the brow pomade. Now for colors for brows, I always go a little bit lighter with brows. So I'm a shade 3. I used to use a shade 3 when I was blonde, and I used a shade 3 when I was brunette, when I am brunette. I could get away with using a shade 5. I just choose not to use it shade 5 because I think dark eyebrows can be really harsh, and I think especially if you overdraw them a little bit, I think dark eyebrows can look just very, very fake, and I think sometimes dark eyebrows can give me more of like a masculine vibe. So I think lighter eyebrows are more feminine. It's a little bit softer. I think it's good to be soft with certain things and then more intense with other things. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my eyebrows. I will say that I think thinner eyebrows are more feminine. Make sure you have a good shape and arch to them and you don't go in too dark up in the front. And I just think it's good to keep like a nice thin shape. Like I think super thick eyebrows, which it may be a trend, you may like thick eyebrows, but for me personally, I just think thinner eyebrows are more feminine. And that's my opinion. And I think when you lift your eyebrows, so I take a lot out all from here. Like I actually make my eyebrows relatively thin through here. And what that does is it gives me more lid space. It gives me the look of like a lifted brow, which also is more feminine, and it gives you more of just like a snatched like look, which I think is what we're all going for, right? So let me do my eyebrows. I'm gonna do them off camera and then I will be back. Okay, so my eyebrows are on. I don't really know what happened today. I did go a little bit in kind of hard on the eyebrows, but I think they look pretty okay. I'm not like obsessed, but I just like had to give it up. So I do keep a relatively thin eyebrow through there. I did go in with concealer today and just crisp up the edges, which sometimes I don't do because I kind of feel like it can give you like a very artificial like straight edge look, but I did it today because they looked really messy. And yeah, this is kind of what I ended up with. I do go in with the goof proof pencil in the front to the middle, and then I go in with the pomade from the end to the middle just to give it like a good type of look. Honestly, I like if my eyebrows are even a little bit thinner than this, but I've been kind of trying to like let them grow in just a little bit so I can kind of manipulate the shape even a little bit more. So now that eyebrows are done, I'm gonna go in with like eyeshadow, I guess. Honestly, I don't really wear eyeshadow a ton. I don't even think it's necessary for like feminizing your face. But we're just gonna go in with a couple simple colors. I'm gonna kind of show you guys some tips and tricks on how to elongate the eye. I'm gonna just go in with my Conspiracy palette. ASMR. Love a good little ASMR moment. Let me know if you guys want me to make ASMR videos. Just kidding. Probably won't do that, and also nobody wants to hear that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in with some big fluffy brushes. I'm always kind of messy when it comes to eyeshadow. So we're just gonna go in with the JH31 brush. It's just like a brush like this. I'm gonna go into Tanacon. It's a little bit of like a lighter shade. I'm just gonna go in and kind of messily throw that into the crease. I'm never really all too precise with eyeshadow. And do you guys want to hear a big secret? I'll tell you. I almost always do the exact same style every single time. Like every single time. I kind of just go in and I do put similar colors in the exact same place and I call it a day. So I'm kind of taking this and I'm literally blending it all the way up to my eyebrow. Just through like that. I'm gonna take this exact same brush. I'm gonna dip into Diet Root Beer, which is a little bit, just have like a deeper brown shade. We're just gonna kind of throw that in the outer V of the eye and blend it up like that, just in the outer area. I think when you do this, it just kind of like drags your eye out a little bit, like right here, and gives you a little bit more of like a cat eye type of look, which in my opinion is a little bit more feminizing. So then now once that's done, I just want to deepen it up just a touch more. So I'm gonna go in with this brush. It's also a Jaclyn brush. I'm obsessed with this, the JH40 brush. I'm gonna go into my Soft Glam. I'm gonna dunk into Rustic right now. I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna place it right in here. I'm going to take what I use for the crease and whatnot, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to buff this out just a little bit more. Sorry if the lighting just changed. I'm like filming this in front of my window, and I do have like a bright light right here, but for some reason it just got so dark outside. So I'm going to go in with that. So then it just kind of like adds a little bit more definition right there. Hopefully this lighting's a little bit better. Probably not, so sorry about that. Probably not, so sorry about that, but I just went through, added some of that deepness right there. I think that that just gives you a little bit more of like a sultry lifted look. My eyelashes, they're like really playing games with me. So I'm kind of enjoying this matte look. A lot of times I do go in with shimmer, and I do like to like pack shimmer onto my lid. I'm like not really feeling that, to be completely honest. There's nothing really in the Conspiracy palette that I can use that's mattifying that I can use to like just brighten this area up. So I just took a color from my Soft Glam palette, which I think if you are to buy any eyeshadow palette that's really universal, and you guys are maybe new to transitioning or early on, or just want to invest in one really good palette for your makeup and eye looks and stuff like that, I 10 out of 10 recommend the Soft Glam. You can pretty much do the exact eye look I used right now with colors from my Conspiracy palette and get a similar look from just Soft Glam. You can do daytime looks, you guys can do nighttime looks. Honestly, I would recommend that over anything. Of course, I mean, there's other like really fun palettes, and if you wanted to invest in the Conspiracy and things like that, I just think that it's like limiting a little bit with like the looks that you can create. So that's just totally up to you guys, but I totally wanted to give you guys a recommendation because I know that when I first started transitioning, you know, like you don't have a lot of money, like it takes time to build things up, and I didn't have the best makeup collection. Now that I work at a makeup retailer, it's like a different story. I have a lot more resources to get really nice makeup. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your brush and you're just gonna dust off some of that bake, but I'm still gonna like leave it around the nose area because I'm a psycho and I like to really make sure that that's set in there and really make sure that it's on there and bright. So then I'm gonna go in with just like a little pointed brush, the JH40 brush. I'm gonna go in with the crease color that I used, which is Tanacon. I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna bring it underneath my eye. The reason I do this is to just give like a full completed look. It's important to bring some eyeshadow underneath your eye because otherwise it just looks super strange. So I bring it, I pull it all the way through. I'm gonna take some Diet Root Beer and I'm just gonna put it right here in this outer area, just a little bit to deepen that up. Do this. Typically I don't wear this much makeup, but I really wanted to give you guys like a full feminization like facial look for somebody that wants to do it all. I think this type of look with the inner corner kind of bright with no shimmer and then just kind of drag it out like this gives you like a very cat eye look. It works right with this and it just kind of lifts the whole face up, in my opinion. I'm gonna take this, dust off my nose area, and then I take this and I just pull it down. So then your nose looks like this. Sometimes I feel like the bake might have made it a little bit light. So then I just take it, one swipe, darken it right back up. It's perfect. So my favorite blush is gone. Don't know where that went, but it's California by Benefit. It's my favorite. So I'm actually just going to be going in with this coral blush from Kylie. It's called Kitten Baby. Dip into the blush, tap off the excess, and I just take it. I feel like that isn't giving me what I want. Okay, so we're just gonna do this so that each side matches, and we're actually canceling this blush. Don't buy it. Kylie Cosmetics, we don't know her. Kylie Cosmetics, trash. Just kidding, that isn't giving me what I... Why is my life falling apart? Okay, like I guess this doesn't have a lid anymore. So we're gonna go in this Revolution blush in color Pink Lady. And I really just like to add like a good amount of blush to the face. I think that when you add blush to the face, I think it warms up the face. It doesn't make you look so flat and like matted, and it just gives you more of like a feminine look, a warm look, and just like a youthful look. And I like to take it and I just do a little do over my nose. I think that that adds a little feminine touch too, just more of like a dainty look. I never bring the blush up through here because I still want to have that elongated look, but we just kind of push it in through there. I love blush. Blush is such an important step. I used to never wear blush, especially in the beginning of my transition. I didn't wear blush until probably like a year and a half, 2 years in, and I think blush is a huge game changer. I think that it's just like a super feminizing thing. I think everybody needs blush. So the next step is highlight. I'm going to be going in with the Bretman Rock Wet n Wild collection. It is a loose highlight, so it can be a little bit difficult to maneuver. So I use a brush like this. This is literally a no-name brush that like I think I got on Amazon like 100 years ago. I'm using the ColourPop Maleficent highlighter. I know all these highlighters that I'm using, you actually can't get. Another really good highlighter that I'm actually out of, which is why I'm not using, is Cookie from Benefit. So good. So I'm gonna go in with this type of brush. We're gonna do just one little dot on the tip of my nose. Take your finger, little circular motion. Like so. So that gives you the illusion of a button nose. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna drag it right down kind of the top center through here, because it also gives you just the illusion of like a lifted, cute, straight, petite little nose. And just add some good luminosity. I would never ever put highlighter through the middle part. It looks too overdone. It just doesn't accent well and it just looks overwhelming. I don't like it. I went in with this highlighter because it gives more of like a white reflection, which I think really like lifts the nose up. It really lifts. I like to use it through here in my brow bone, but today I'm going to be going in with the ColourPop colors. I just dumped them onto this little tray. So I'm going to be going in with the gold one under my brow. Oh wow, I guess this does a lot of white reflection too. This highlighter is insane. Wow, that, and why you put it underneath your brow bone is to lift the face up. This highlighter is insane. I am so happy that I got this. It is limited edition, guys. So if you are seeing this video, well, I'm filming this on Monday, it's probably going up Thursday. I would make sure to head out and get it. Check ColourPop's, or check Wet n Wild's website, check Ulta's website. It's amazing. So all through there, I did it. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this on just the tip of my nose and through here. This is like insane. I'm obsessed with this. This is like 10 out of 10 my new favorite highlighter. The JH09 brush. This is my favorite highlighting brush. I think it works so well. So I'm gonna pick up some highlight, tap it off. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Oh gosh, this is gonna be insane. I can already tell. Add highlight to the top cheekbones. It raises the cheek. I never bring it all the way back here. I mainly focus it right through here, because even from the front you don't really see it, but then it's kind of through here. I don't like when people put highlighter on their cheeks. I don't get the point of that. I don't get it. I don't like it. I think that it just looks overdone, and I think it just looks a little bit too heavy. Like, you can be heavy, but you have to be heavy in particular things. You can't be heavy in everything, and you can't just like drag things down because there's a reason for placement. This just really lifts up the face and looks just so good. And it does, you can see a little bit from the front, just adds like a little bit of luminosity to the face, and I think it looks really good. I just dust a little bit of excess up there, and then it looks like that. There was like a pinky color in here too. I'm just gonna go in with some of that, and I'm just gonna dust them on here. This isn't necessarily for facial like feminization. I just think that highlight like on the collarbones and stuff. I just think it looks so pretty and just has you like a glow, you know what I mean? And every woman wants a glow, so I always just kind of just take it, pull it down, especially if I'm gonna be wearing like a cute little dress or something where you can see my collarbone. So you do that. Perfect, highlight is done. So for your lips, I always use lip liners, and I primarily will only use a lip liner. Like I don't really go in with like a liquid lip. I don't really go in with like a liquid lip all too much, but I always do use more than one color. So here are the 3 colors I use the most. This is Candy K by Kylie Cosmetics. This one is Mauve in NYX, and this one is Nude Suede Shoes, also in NYX. So I typically like to go in on the outer area of the lip with one of these 2, and then I fill it in with Nude Suede Shoes. So I will kind of show you guys how I do that. Something like really weird is happening to my Kylie liner. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? What is that white stuff? What is that? Why is there like white wax? It's almost like it didn't get colored and it's coming through the middle. Ew, guys, see? Like the Kylie blush wasn't good. The Kylie lip liner, I try to use this one a lot. And the tip always breaks. Like literally half of that is gone because I sharpen it so much and then it just snaps and I have to resharpen it. NYX never does that to me. So we're going in with NYX. We're going in with Mauve on the outer area. So what I do, so I take it, and I always overline. I think that overlining is like, I like to do it. I think it's very feminine to have big lips. And I think it just like adds like a plump, youthful look. And I think it's very attractive to have big lips. So I kind of overline, if you can tell. Like I'm lining like right on the outside perimeter of my lips, especially in the middle on the top and on the middle on the bottom. So then I take it and I kind of just drag it down the sides of my mouth. I don't really add a lot of outline over here. I think it actually makes your lips look bigger when you outline the top and the bottom, and then you kind of keep the line more petite in here. It gives you more of a circular lip, and I think circular lips are really trendy. I think they're really youthful. I think that it's very feminine. Look at that lip. She's so big. Okay, so I'm gonna go finish with the outline, and I'll come back when I'm like filling it in. Okay, so now that my whole lip is outlined, they're actually getting kind of small. I think I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for my new lip filler. If you want to get me lip filler, just comment down below if you want to pay for my lip filler. Okay, I'm so fucking annoying. Okay, so then you're gonna go through and just pull it through like this. The dark color. So you're still using the color that you outlined with, and you're just gonna pull it through. Like this, on all just like the outer areas of your lip. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna give an illusion of an even plumper lip because the whole exterior is darker. Then I'm gonna go in with Nude Suede Shoes. I'm going like that. Like that. And then your lips are done. And then all you have to do is take some setting spray. I use MAC Fix Plus. I actually use whatever. One of my favorites, Urban Decay All Nighter. I use Tarte Stay and Spray, Stray and Play, Spray and Stay, something like that. And then I use Smashbox, like just like setting spray, I think is what it's called. So then setting spray obviously keeps it locked in place. It kind of melts all the makeup into your face, so it just looks a little bit more natural, even though there's nothing natural about this. And then, also, I forgot to mention, guys, I have eyelash extensions. If you don't have eyelash extensions, you could always do false lashes or just mascara. That's totally up to you. Personally, I think false lashes just look a little bit better. I just think false lashes just look a little bit better. But yeah, this is like the final look. I really think that these are all ways to really feminize your face. I think it just gives an overall feminine look without being too much or too drag queeny. But honestly, you can do this without the eyeshadow and it's much, much more of an everyday look and it doesn't look so extra. I did go in with eyeshadow today and just like did the most, but that is here nor there. That's totally up to you. If you want to do that, you could always maneuver and manipulate these, you know, tips and tricks, and I hope that there's something that works better or works well for you guys in this video. If there is something that you guys think works better or works really good, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always trying to expand my mind and expand my tips and expand my tricks and all of that good stuff. So I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will see you guys soon. Bye.